Cognitive bias can be defined as mental errors caused by our simplified information processing strategies. There are many explanations about the origin of cognitive biases, including where you are from and the beliefs of that particular society, the way your parents raise you, and the different events and people you experience in your life. Factors such as these have an incredible impact on how you interact with and perceive other people, as well as the world around you. Currently, there are about 185 known biases, examples of which can be seen in the media, in sports, in business, and in education. An example of one of these biases is the fundamental attribution error. The fundamental attribution error is the tendency to overestimate the effect of disposition or personality and underestimate the effect of the situation in explaining social behavior. This means that when we make a mistake, we will often refuse to accept any responsibility. However, when somebody else makes a similar mistake, we will likely place all of the blame on them and their disposition. In other words, we blame extrinsic factors for our own faults, and intrinsic factors for the faults of other people. Extrinsic factors are things that happen to us and are situational, such as a bad breakup, a robbery, or the death of a loved one. Intrinsic factors, on the other hand, are related to our disposition, and they may include intelligence, motivation, and time management. So how does the fundamental attribution error apply to the workforce? Imagine you've been working hard on a project. You spend hours, days, maybe even weeks working on it. But for some reason, you just can't get it done, or it doesn't turn out as well as you had hoped, not for lack of trying. Your superior will likely judge you for this lack of success by attributing it to your disposition and neglecting any situational factors that may have affected your performance. This attributional error may make you go from a good employee in your supervisor's head to an unreliable employee. Because of it, they might be less likely to give you future assignments, holding you back from reaching your full potential and also holding you back from future opportunities. Another impact of the fundamental attribution error in the workplace may be seen when looking at potential candidates for a position. When looking at a candidate, an employer might place too much importance on the school someone attended. This means that they might attribute higher intelligence to a candidate who went to a highly recognizable school and vice versa. What the employer may neglect to consider is why and how these things occurred. Perhaps a candidate that did not go to as good of a school was limited financially, not intellectually. Maybe a student at a better school has a long legacy at the school and wouldn't have necessarily gotten in otherwise. A similar error occurs when looking at the grades of candidates, assuming the A+ student is better than the C student. In this case, the employer may only be looking at the grade and neglecting to consider how difficult such an achievement is. Getting an A at one school is very different than getting an A at another school. This is a major issue in considering who to hire, as the National Association of Colleges and Employers reports that 66% of employers screen candidates by grade point average, and 58% of employers indicated that a GPA below 3.0 all but eliminates a candidate's chances of being hired. Studies have also shown that physical attractiveness may contribute to fundamental attributional errors in the workplace. As humans, we have a tendency to attribute traits of someone who is more attractive to their inherent qualities. However, when we see the same exact traits in either less attractive or more forgettable people, we will likely attribute them to external forces. This means that more attractive people may have an automatic advantage over less attractive people. This is due to their supervisors unknowingly deeming them more inherently capable of success. Therefore, people with more forgettable features may have to try twice as hard to earn recognition. Now we must ask the question, how can we combat this? It is said that because biases appear to be so hardwired and unalterable, most of the attention paid to countering them hasn't dealt with the problematic thoughts, judgments, or predictions themselves. Instead, it has been devoted to changing behavior in the form of incentives or nudges. Though there is no way to rid ourselves completely of our biases, there are ways in which we can help ourselves. Some of these are increasing our emotional intelligence and increasing our awareness. If we can do these things, we can take the first steps to living an unbiased life.